Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps with the Boxing Social in association with Forged Irish Stout and Empire Fight Store, and I'm joined now with the one and only Adam Morallee. Adam, good to see you here
Great to see you, Michelle.
I was about to say Las Vegas, but good to see you here in Arizona. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Got in last night, but it's great. Sunny here, wakes you up. Brilliant.
Yeah, not terrible weather. It's definitely probably not as cold, I would imagine, over the pond.
No, it's beautiful here. I haven't seen the sun for ages, so it's great.
Okay, that sucks for you guys.
Yeah.
Anyways, look, I haven't been able to speak to you in quite a minute. I think I saw you briefly before Joe Joyce had his rematch against Zhang.
Yeah.
Just, I keep in contact with Joe. He seems fine, everything's fine, but just, from the management standpoint, what's going on there?
Look, you start at the end of 2022. Joe beat Parker, looked undefeatable. No one wanted to take him on. We match-made him really hard against Zhang. We knew it was a tough fight. We thought Zhang's engine would be, likely to give way towards the end of the fight. And we really thought that was a good fight. And, we've been proven wrong. Joe's got beat by him twice. You've got to sometimes take the L. And it was a bad style matchup for Joe. Difficulties in the first camp, which we remedied in the second camp. But Joe remains a world-level fighter. And it's our job to work with Joe to bring him back, have a great relationship with the Warrens, who have backed Joe. They've made him the face of TNT, and they want him to stay the face of TNT. We were talking about that Joe fighting on the 23rd of December card, but he's going to come back in March with a kind of fight, probably a notch down, no disrespect to the Zhang fight, and then straight back in the mix. We want him to have the winner of Dubois Miller.
When we're looking at matchmaking, who would you feel would be a good fit in regards to, with Joe for his comeback fight?
Oh, I mean, look, we've got a number of names. I don't really want to go into them now, but Joe is a very confident guy. He's a super confident guy, but even a Joe Joyce, after 2 losses, may not be as supremely confident as he was. So it's the point of the management to match him right. You can't go too low, but then he doesn't want to fight another killer southpaw, does he?
All right, well, you mentioned March. We obviously know that there's that possibility of Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. I think it's, March 9th?
March 9th, yeah.
So it's safe to say that that's sort of where you guys are gunning for his comeback?
We're going to probably be in the UK, not in Saudi.
Oh, okay.
We're going to come back in the UK, and then after that, Joe rejoins that heavyweight mix at the top level. And gets right back into those big fights. Like I said, winner of Dubois Miller, I think, is a perfect fight for Joe Joyce.
Let's talk about Florian Marku. Conor Benn does not have an opponent anymore. There's been a lot of the back and forth between them. What is happening there? Why are we not getting more talks about that fight? Because it seems like, I don't know which direction it's coming from, but it doesn't seem like there's too much interest from someone's side to not make the fight.
Conor Benn, Florian Marku. Yeah, look, most UK welterweights at the moment want to fight Florian Marku. So we've received offers.
Do they? Because
yeah, they do.
They
do. Look, people want. He is a tough fight, but he's a big name. He talks well, and people want a piece of Florian Marku now. So we're looking at matchmaking Florian's next fight. But, you're looking at the upsides and downsides of those fights. Some of those UK welterweights haven't got a big following, not a lot there. Some of them have had big wins, great names, and we're looking at them, We've got Josh Kelly fighting tomorrow night in Sunderland, weight above, but that's a great fight for Florian Marku. Florian is coming for the big names now. He wants the big fights. I've seen a big change in Florian in the last 6 months. He's really focused. I think he's really found himself, and he's so calm. Before he fought Dylan Moran, no telephone, just in his room on his own, meditating. He just looked at me and said, I'm ready. I don't know if you watched that fight. 45 seconds, he did nothing, and 2 seconds later it was all over.
Right.
So, yeah.
Which I can imagine, Adam, that's not exactly being the type of opponent most people want to be matched up with, because he is a dangerous opponent.
He is, and he's even more dangerous now than he was. I mean, I think a lot of the boxing community thought Florian was just a massive ticket seller who wasn't really that good a boxer, but they're now starting to see someone, hey, this guy might be British level, might be European level, might be world level, and people are starting to believe in Florian Marku. But yeah, I love that Conor Benn fight for Florian. I mean, we were so close in making that Josh Taylor fight. So close. Credit to Ben Shalom, credit to Top Rank. We really, really wanted to make that Josh Taylor fight. And at the end, Josh Taylor didn't didn't want to take the fight. I mean, he's the A side of that fight. I think his coaches probably thought Josh wants something a bit easier at 147, and Florian was a bit more challenging, a bit more of a threat. I understand that. But everyone worked really hard for that fight. It's a shame. I really hope we can revisit the Taylor fight. Got so much respect for Josh Taylor, top pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I don't care what anyone says. He is one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and it would have been an amazing opportunity for Florian to step up to that level.
You got a few heavyweights part of your stable, so would the goal be to try to put them on an undercard, like against Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, respectively, if they obviously come out successful on the night next weekend?
Yeah, look, I've got 3 other heavyweights. We've got Guido with Top Rank, who is probably a good candidate for that, ploughing his own furrow. Got offered a spot on December 23rd, actually, which we spoke about, but didn't work out for him.
Okay.
But Guido's a real candidate for that. Solomon Dacres should be fighting in Britain for a British title. In my opinion, he should be fighting Fabio Wardley, or if not Fabio, someone like David Adelaide. And Johnny Fisher isn't at that level yet, in my opinion. He's not at that world level. But yeah, he should be fighting in on a matchroom show in the States, I hope, very soon. Huge ticket seller.
Next weekend, are you going to be there?
I'm not going to be in Saudi, no.
Well, me either.
No.
It's Christmas. You know what I'm saying? I'm not missing any Christmas time. But next weekend, again, the talks are the only way that the March card moves forward is if both Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua are successful. Anthony Joshua will be facing Otto-Wallin.
Yeah.
How do you see that fight going down for Joshua? A lot of people overlook Otto-Wallin.
Do you know what? I think a lot of people are saying, like, the smart money saying it's a very tough fight for Joshua with Otto-Wallin. We looked at Wallin a lot for Joe when we were thinking of matchmaking Joe. It's a tricky fight for AJ, but I feel that I see a different side to AJ now. I think the old AJ's coming back. I think Wallin is a kind of heavily favoured underdog in that fight, but I see an AJ victory there. I see an AJ victory. I see AJ on the way back. I think he's going to win that fight.
Do you foresee, or how do you see Deontay Wilder's fight going down?
I see Joseph Parker, wonderful man. Really like the guy.
Very active.
Very active. I see him winning the fight, not comfortably, but ahead, round 9. And unfortunately, I see Parker finishing it. I see Wilder finishing it by KO, probably round 10 or 11.
Okay.
Whilst behind on the cards.
Really?
Wilder will be behind on the cards, yeah.
Okay. Lastly, just your thoughts are on Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk, which, you know, isn't too far off a few months from now.
Yeah, I mean, both of them coming off not great performances for them. I mean, a lot of people would have thought Dubois beat Usyk with the borderline blow. I think both those below par performances will put them back into camp with renewed vigour. And I think you're going to see a phenomenal fight. And I can't look past Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
He's the heavyweight king. I mean, they're both exceptional boxers, absolutely exceptional boxers, but Fury's got the height, he's got the weight, he's got the style. I think he's the best heavyweight of this era.
At one point, everyone was talking about possibly having Joe Joyce versus Deontay Wilder. Is that still something? Because
I mean, look, I love Tyson Fury, Joe Joyce. I think Joe is a really tough style for Tyson Fury. I think Joe Joyce, Deontay Wilder is of course possible. I mean, look, as you can see, the heavyweight division can withstand losses. You know, people are talking about AJ-Wallin headlining a massive Saudi card. You know, between them, they've got, what, 6 losses? You know,
there,
1 or 2 losses doesn't define you. So, of course, we will hopefully see Joe Joyce, Tyson Fury, Joe Joyce, AJ, Joe Joyce, Wilder. Those fights, Joe's a name, those fights can still be made.